Good morning. It is Saturday, the 19th of October, 2019. Bitcoin Bollinger Band is squeezing in and giving us a buy signal right on our 3 touches of death pattern that we reviewed the other day. I'm going to dig into the indicators and see if this buy pattern is really solid. Let's jump in. Of course, even though I'm looking at real patterns and buy signals, this isn't actually trading advice. This is just market observation. You really need the entire plan before you can go through and implement this. So we're going to end the episode by looking at the Bollinger Bands here. But let's start off by going through our regular routine of indicators. So as usual, we'll start off with the relative strength index on the weekly view, and we'll zoom in through our time. Zoom in through different charts and see what the time is telling us. So first of all, before I get directly into this, let me go to the chat and say, how is the sound volume for you? I have some people telling me that they have to crank everything up to the maximum in order to hear the volume in my videos. And I am over on the yellow line right now for the volume. I can turn it up more, but let me know. And say hello in the chat. Let me know where in the world you are from. Are you new to the channel or a repeat visitor? The relative strength index. Sort of floating along here. And should it pick up off of these levels, it would be good. But if it breaks down below these levels, pretty much everything that I'm going to talk about today is going to be tossed out the window, and we'll start all fresh again if it breaks down below these levels. So let's zoom in, because I'm seeing this divergence. We have 3 touches off of that level. And when I'm searching for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, if I was to flip this upside down and imagine this was a nice, delicious bottom and it was taking off and it looked like it was going to be blasting higher, many times this kind of formation has fooled me in the past. And when I'm looking for bottom formations and the price to be going up or down in this case, it's fooled me. And so I've really studied this pattern and come to call it the 3 touches of death. Now I'm seeing it upside down from where I normally look at it. And I want to know, by going through the indicators, are we really in a 3 touches of death, or is this a continuation pattern? As we saw back over here, if we flip this upside down, this was a continuation pattern. And so that's what the study is over the days here, is to see what is the difference between this. And as it unfolds, these indicators should have given us the answer ahead of time, right? This is what we're all seeing here, is that these indicators give us advanced warning as to which direction the price is going to go. If only we could see it and then have the NADs to act on it properly. So here is this uptrend that I've been watching. If it breaks down below that trend, it is bearish. And we were watching this trend earlier saying that's bearish. So that kind of stuff doesn't go well for my buy signal off this spot. And that's okay. Let's zoom in now. That's what the purpose of this is. Again, here's a little divergence right at this end. Does this divergence off of this have the power to lift and hold the entire market? Sometimes it does. That's how it starts, is these small things. The waterfall starts with a single drop. So here is that divergence in the RSI that's a bit more strong. And as we get further in, we'll see what the other indicators are telling us. Good morning, M. Good morning, Edward Park. Good to have you along again. And football play, long or short, please reply me. We'll long or short from here? I can't answer that for you. All I can do is go through these indicators and say, what are they telling me according to this and that and the other thing? And of course, my overall trading plan is only part of the secret sauce. You can know the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. You can know all of these indicators and all that stuff, and it's just technical analysis. You haven't put it together with an actual trading plan. And I recommend that you click on the link in the description down below and go to intro-to-cryptos.ca, download the webinar. It gives you the entire trading plan, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the trade. And then as we're talking about different stages of the trade here, you're going to be a step ahead. You're already going to know the trading plan, and this is a helpful thing for you, rather than just another video that gives you another opinion on things. This is a structured based on a structured plan. And so we're repeating the same study every day, and you should have the information to make the decision. I try to feel like I'm maybe perhaps a batting coach based on this specific trading plan, and you must swing the bat. Let's zoom in on this because I'm looking for volume on. Looking for volume. Like if this is the 3 touches of death formation and that we are going to bounce off this and see some significant strength right off of this level immediately, then I've got to see it in the volume, and I don't right here. So as I go into the 12 and zoom into the 12 hour here now, it's still dumping volume at the very tip. Not good. Not as good as what I was wanting. We got dumping here, but less dumping here. So that's not as bad, but it's not picking up into any kind of bullish stance yet. And as you can see with this indicator, it is not a leading indicator. It shows you what is and has happened. So that means for me that if this downtrend line is breaking and we're starting to push up from that, I'll quickly come to this chart and say, are we really? Is this really moving up, or is it just a fake out? And when we see the volume coming in with it, okay, now you've got some, I see the crowd in behind the wall being pushed down. I'll pay attention to it. So we'll see as it breaks above these levels. We're going to zoom in now to the killer at the end, the Bollinger Bands. Because so far, everything here is not giving me a buy signal. In fact, it would be making me feel bearish and to be ready for the short. And the 3 touches of death formation is invented, and I talk about it because it's where I kept making mistakes in my trading. And I would go back and look at all of my analysis afterwards, and I would say, there it is again. There's that same pattern again. So I started calling it the 3 touches of death. And then I started seeing it the last couple days in Bitcoin, but upside down. So now I'm really studying the crap out of this because it is a place where I've made trading errors in the past, and I want to uncover that. You can't fix an error until you can pinpoint it. Then you can come up with strategies. And this is part of it, is to watch what is the MACD actually doing at this time. On the daily, it is crossed to the positive, but looking kind of weaker. And in all of my analysis up until now, I would double click on this and I would zoom in and I would say something like the daily MACD histograms are easing back, and that happens just before the cross. If this crosses on this formation, of course, it's bearish, and really it is. So now I'm watching for the momentum change the other way, that if this flares positive as we are opening up in the prices, there's another thing to be looking at specifically in the chart to verify that this is a good breakout from this spot, unlikely as it is. Let's go into the 12 hour. Here again, you would hear me last week, weeks before, I'd be talking about this negative cross, that it's negative. It's going down from here. And I'd still hold to that. So I'm kind of arguing with myself right now. Zooming into the 4 hour, this is where the argument starts in the relative strength index as well. We've got the cross, we've got this divergence. As we have a low and a lower low in our prices, we've got a divergence here. So now let's bring the prices back up so we can see that. Low, lower low, but we've got that divergence, which we can't see because of the scale of the chart. Here we can see it when we expand it. So this is a little bit of juice right at the end here of this parallel channel. Okay, is this the kind of thing that we see when a Bart Simpson unfolds? Is this the corner edge of a Bart Simpson? Can we put this combination of indicators together and know every time that a Bart Simpson, this is what's coming up? That's worth a ton of money to know that. Let's go into, did I zoom in more? 1 hour time frame. So again, here's our divergence. We have a cross to the positive here, cross to the positive here. It's given us a divergence on this end. At the end, I like it. Now let's go into the Ichimoku cloud, because this has kicked my ass a few times. And the last few days, as we've been going through this week, that had crossed to the negative, the blue below the red. And I was like, well, that's negative. We're going down. We're going to touch down to these areas and do our Ichimoku cloud buy signal down there. And I'm also, of course, you may know if you've been watching this episode, I've been talking about this for some time now, because this trend line is where I think we're coming down to eventually. I think we are going to come up and test higher, and then we're going to come down to this. and move along that. Of course, I could be wrong. This is an analysis, and I'm studying to see what is up on that. So now let's zoom in from the weekly into the daily Ichimoku cloud to see if we're getting any bullish, because this looks bearish to me, right? We're below the cloud. It's twisted to the negative. The blue is below the red. We're still like, if prices go, this is going to go skinny, and we're going to really take a tumble. This is a serious chart pattern. And we go into the 12-hour time frame for the Ichimoku cloud. It's still also negative, and it could be the sell signal in the downtrend that it's come up to the cloud. The blue line is crossed below the red, and it would be a sell signal in the downtrend. If this breaks below this, again, all of this analysis and the anticipation that it's going to bounce higher from here, out the window. And you have to have the plan on both sides of this kind of thing right now as we're setting up. Got to look both ways down the street. So the 4-hour, that's the 12-hour. Let's go into the 4-hour because I'm still stretching. I'm still looking. Where is this going to tell me something different? Because the Bollinger Band gives me backup and support for this 3 touches of death, and nothing else so far is on this time frame. If I go into the 1-hour time frame, are we finally getting this little divergence turning into something? Because in the relative strength index and the MACD, it gave us a divergence. And on the 1-hour time frame of the Ichimoku cloud, it isn't yet. This isn't cutting through. We haven't twisted to the positive. We haven't gone up through the cloud. We have lower lows. We have lower highs. It's all bearish here. Like from this method of reading, it would be get ready to sell. So zooming in on this, here's our first indicator. We have to go right into the 15-minute time frame, and I'm zooming in on this one specifically because of the bias I'm looking for, in that we are doing the 3 touches of death, and that it is going to be coming up from this spot here. So I am going through this chart with a specific bias and seeing, does it match my bias? Does it match? Does it match? We'll see if it breaks up above this level, but they're really getting sketchy to jump into the 15-minute charts. Now, I'll bet you I'm going to spoil it by having the wrong. No, I don't. This is the lead picture. Here is our 3 touches of death. We are at the very bottom of the Bollinger Bands on the 12-hour time frame. I got to zoom back out now just for clear that off. We know where the arrow pointed. So we're at the bottom, and it's starting to widen, which would, for my lack of knowledge about the Bollinger Band, that if it's widening and we're at the bottom edge, it's like continuing the trend down, right, on the weekly view. If we go into the daily view, now it is at the bottom of this narrowing band, bottom of the narrowing band. Where is it in the narrow edge of the band? How is it transversing or traveling inside this narrow part of the band? What's the behavior in there? Let's zoom in to the 12-hour time frame, and we can see there's the narrow band again that we are at the bottom of, and I like how extended the narrow band has gone. Now as we're zooming in, we're into this narrow band, and we're getting into some more detail. And so on the 4-hour time frame, we're at the bottom of the band. We're coming up to crossing the midline of the band. It doesn't mean that we're going to go up, but it could mean that we're going to be changing directions here. Combining with my 3 touches of death and giving me an indicator that may illuminate when I'm right and when I'm wrong about this exact formation, I am studying the crazy out of this. Now, as I go into the 1-hour time frame, this is when we're coming across the midline. And so I'm trying to come up with something here, right? You help me with this Bollinger Bands. It's coming across the midline and staying above the midline. There's my first indicator of a turnaround potential now that we're hitting at the 3 touches of death. We have a nice trend line here, so it's not a 1, 2, 3 formation that I like, but it is a downtrending channel. And this could be the 1, 2, 3 formation on the micro scale, right? We're really getting into the small stuff, but that's where we are. So let's zoom right in. Now that it's made this, and we've got that parallel channel, it's a potential little tiny 1, 2, 3 bottom formation over the last 18 hours. It's not that small, I guess. Then, since it's making all these things, I can step back out to the 4-hour time frame and say to myself, hey, as it crosses over this midline level, I am going to play. I'm going to put on a small bit of my initial long position here and only hold it if it proves me correct. No, so if it comes back down, of course, I'm getting out of that long position and I may consider a short, but I don't like it because that's so much whipsaw there that you really got to start off small. And then I could play with this if it come up to these levels and fought around for a while and started to break above these levels. I would be more confident to add on that I've actually caught the change of direction and I could put on a bit bigger of a trade there, knowing I've got a bit of cushion to protect myself. So if this starts to go quickly and we see the Ichimoku cloud breaking higher on the 1 hour time frame, and we see the cross to the positive on the 4 hour, on the 12 hour MACD, and we're seeing significant positive volume in our on balance volume starting out right from this level as we're breaking above this. All of these things combined together, it's going to give me the confidence to take a small bit of a trade here and maybe the nads to add on to it if we are making a quick move out of a Bart Simpson formation. Crazy different way of trading, not at all the 1 2 3 bottom formation, but we are not here in a 1 2 3 bottom formation. I like to take the 1 2 3 bottom formation and go across the alts right now because Bitcoin dominance is making me bullish on the alts, but not all of them are ready. This is the average of all of the alts actually coming up in value against Bitcoin. But a ton of them, if we're watching them closely, a ton of them have just made sideways actions like this. And they have gone sideways so long that they are no longer good 1 2 3 bottom formations. And we sort of have to adapt what we're doing. So instead of looking for the 1 2 3 bottom formation in just one market, I look for that formation across all sorts of markets and not just crypto markets. We look at all sorts of different markets to look for those that are making this formation. And so then we've taken this into the bull market watch spreadsheet and been analyzing everything on Binance and Poloniex now for over a year. And we are holding right now 38 hold status coins. We have 16 more in alert status, but we have a few exit status coins because the prices are going sideways so long, even though they've moved up. Our exponential moving averages are crossing on the 4 hour time frame, kicking us out of some of our positions or reducing our position size. It's important to see that the alts maybe have fewer hold status coins over this last 2 weeks, from 79 now to 38 hold status coins in Binance. But we've gone up in neutral status coins, and we have not gone up drastically in the failing coins and the near failing coins. So it seems to me that we are in the beginning stages of the bull phase and we've eased back a little bit, but we have not gone into a continuation of the bear phase for the alts yet. So as we're watching Bitcoin dominance, I am expecting that we're going to have some noise come up in the next short while, something where we are going to be back and forth, up and down. Should that happen, Bitcoin prices going stronger, I expect that Bitcoin dominance is going to rear its ugly head and some of the alts are going to panic dump if this happens in Bitcoin. So we've got a few things now. A few things that are timely. They are only going to happen for this very specific amount of time. They're important because they can make you money. And if you think that this analysis is helpful, I'd like you to go over to the website intro-to-cryptos.ca, grab that trading plan. But more than that, if you are trading alts and you wonder which ones to get in, which ones to get out of, I'd recommend that you also pick up a subscription to our Altcoin Patron Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. It's as little as $15 a month and we update it for you every single day. So we give you the trading plan and we take care of updating a spreadsheet of everything on Poloniex and Binance for you as, less than $1 a day for access to this. So I'm trying to build the membership of this to over 200 people and I hope to see you guys along. If not, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, leave a question for me in the description down below and I'll answer it on the next episode. Now, I haven't looked at the chat at all. I appreciate you guys being along. There's a lot of great streams out there and I hope that you find this stream helpful for making profits out of your trading. We'll continue this conversation as Bitcoin prices break out or not. We'll continue following this chart pattern and the on balance volume. We'll continue to watch exactly what it's doing, and we'll update this conversation in our Discord chat. So click on the link down below, join our community, and continue the conversation. We have the free YouTube, we have the free training, we have the free Discord chat. And if you work it hard, come on over and subscribe to our patron Bull Market Watch spreadsheet, and we will help you. Carl, good to have you along. I did get your email about your success by following the patron Bull Market Watch spreadsheet, and I appreciate that. That's wicked. Now pay attention to those top formations and our EMA crossovers, because we just don't know how long this bull market is going to go, and we want to get into the ones that are good and get out of them when they tell us to, because it's not our job to make money. It's the market's job to tell us that. Now I'll get off my box and back to Discord. Looking forward to chatting with you guys there. Made plenty of BT since subscribing. I love the testimonial. Thank you very much. I will see you guys all later. Bye for now.